Action News at 8 begins with breaking news.
And we're watching the traffic out there. This is a little slow go around the Arlington Expressway. The Matthews Bridge, of course, shut down indefinitely after that bridge, actually the ship slammed into the bridge, into the side of it.
Just a big old loud crash.
They said it looked like a knife cutting butter.
What happened, what's next, and the alternate routes you need to know about to get around town. Good morning, thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bars.
And I'm Lindsay Gardner here live in Arlington. Good morning to you. We have complete team coverage of the Matthews Bridge shutdown here on Action News this morning at 8. We'll check in on our crews spanned across the area here this morning in just a moment. But first, we're going to tell you how to get around this shutdown with our Derek Odom. Derek.
Good morning, Lindsay. Of course, you're going to have to pack your patience, as they say, right, Mike, when you're making your way around town this morning because of the bridge that is closed. Hart Bridge is your alternate route. It's going to be crowded. 100,000 commuters use the Matthews Bridge every day, so some crowded roadways in the area. Atlantic Boulevard, we're already seeing big delays on Cesare heading down to Atlantic as you make your way toward the Hart system off the Dames Point Bridge. Stop and go traffic from the end of the bridge all the way down, passing Atlantic Boulevard, heading toward Beach Boulevard. 295 southbound, a crash just reported at Bay Meadows Road. Police are on their way to the scene. Of course, very busy area there as people head toward the new 9B. So watch out for some added delays in that area. And just everywhere that people can take an alternate route, Beach Boulevard is going to get crowded as you make your way toward the Hart Bridge eastbound into town. Right now, it's looking okay. But downtown, the Emerson exit, of course, is one that people can take over to the Hart system. That's going to be crowded as well. 30 to 60 minutes. That's the added time JSO has recommended to your morning commute. Let's take a live look outside if we can, and you can see the traffic that's building up out there. This is I-10 and Cassett, pretty much the normal backup, so watch out for that heavy delay. That's the latest from the Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic Center. Now we'll look at your First Alert forecast. Meteorologist Tom Johnston.
Sun is shining. Here's your First Alert forecast. Beautiful outside. I'm going to show you sky conditions, which are fair right now, even at the beaches. First Alert Sky Cam Network. Then I'm going to show you temperatures. Look at this. Cool fall weather has arrived. Lower to middle 60s, except for the coastline. We do have 70s from Jack's Beach down to St. Augustine, including Ponte Vedra, of course. And then I'm talking winds. Winds today are going to be gusty, teens and 20s, strongest winds along the coastline. Where the surf is rough, rip current risk is high. The winds do continue from the northeast as we head through the day. All right, here's your forecast for today as we go through the day. 66 up to the lower 80s. Very pleasant weather-wise, not a bad way to finish out the work week. But what about that weekend? I'll break it down for you in just a few minutes. Mike, it's 8:02.
All right, Tom, thank you. Let's get back to our top story here. The Matthews Bridge closed indefinitely this morning because of a ship being pulled by tugboats slamming into it Thursday afternoon. Right this minute, engineers are assessing the bridge, and the safety zone on the water has been lifted. The waterway, as we just said, is open this morning. Now, the damage is intense right now. Let's go out to Lindsay Gardner. She is in Arlington with more this morning. Lindsay?
Hey, Mike, good morning to you. Yes, I'm on University Boulevard North, standing on what was usually the off-ramp here to the Matthews Bridge for a lot of folks here in Arlington to get to downtown. I want to go ahead and give our Derek Odom some props here this morning. This is the lightest we've actually seen the traffic here in Arlington in the last 2 hours or so. So it seems like a lot of folks have heeded the warnings there this morning, getting up early and getting on their way. That's the good news. But a lot of commuters still have a lot of questions here in the days, weeks, and months ahead, as we don't yet know how long this closure is going to draw out. Also, speaking of questions, the Coast Guard has questions of their own as to who was on this ship in the first place. City officials are calling it a miracle that the Matthews Bridge did not come crashing down into the St. Johns River. The impact so significant, the ship's ramp appears to be in better shape than the bridge it slammed into. Still, both need major repairs.
There's large damage on the loading arm or the ramp of the military Sea Lift Command ship.
The U.S. naval ship was being pulled during high tide Thursday afternoon by 4 tugboats owned by Moran Towing Services, heading south from Blunt Island to the North Florida shipyard. The Coast Guard still has questions.
Why the vessel went under there without checking the air draft to see how it would fit under.
Mayor Alvin Brown and council members Dr. Johnny Gaffney and Jim Love had some questions of their own and set sail shortly after the crash to get some answers. In a statement, Dr. Gaffney tells Action News, quote, "We have been unofficially told that it appears the towing company is responsible because when they're towing the ships, they usually have sailors on it. They would have lowered the arms. This time, there was no personnel," end quote. Now a thorough investigation is underway to determine who is at fault. So while the investigation is ongoing, so is the inspection of the Matthews Bridge. That alone is going to take several days. Also adding to the complexity of this situation, the bridge was already undergoing construction before this accident happened. I want to bring in Brian Baker now. Brian, we've been out speaking with engineers and experts. Talk to everyone at home about exactly what is damaged on the Matthews Bridge and what's next.
Directly below the bridge deck that you drive on, of course, is what's called a superstructure. This is the direct support. These are steel support beams that serve as the horizontal span for this bridge. Without them, if they are damaged, which they are, the bridge can't function.
The gouge in the Matthews Bridge may look relatively small, but to engineers Action News spoke with, the point of impact makes the damage look massive.
Being hit in the structure itself, or the superstructure, which is the most vulnerable part, and being hit laterally, that's a big deal.
UNF civil engineering professor 8ammathewsbridge says the impact may have caused a chain reaction.
So the damage might not be localized for this specific element. It can extend to the next element, or this element, or the gusset plate right here, or the whole entire connection.
He says an inspection could take days. A repair on the complex cantilever truss structure could take months.
This is no overnight fix.
Absolutely not. It is a sophisticated process of reviewing the design, going through the inspections very thoroughly, and then come up with a very good detailed repair plan. And the repair itself is not going to be easy.
Depending on what an inspection reveals, the entire section of the bridge may need to be cut out and replaced. But we wanted to know,
is this the nail in the coffin for the Matthews Bridge?
I hope not. I hope not. It's vital, and to replace it, we will need hundreds of millions of dollars to replace such a bridge.
Now, because this is a 60-year-old bridge, you heard the terminology functionally obsolete. What does that mean? It was termed that in 2011. It basically means because of updated bridge technology in the past 60 years, it's simply outdated. It has not previously been unsafe to drive on, Lindsay.
All right, Brian, thank you there for that report. And as unreal as it is to see that gouge right there in the heart of the Matthews Bridge, imagine being one of the people living and working nearby and hearing that massive ship slam right into the side of it. Action News' Deanna Betneshi is live on the Action Cam in Talleyrand talking with eyewitnesses here this morning. Deanna.
Well, I spoke to JSO a little bit ago, and they say that the safety zone in the water under that bridge has been lifted, but we can't say the same about the traffic situation for this bridge. Now, we're told that it could take months before the bridge even starts getting fixed, and that worries a lot of local drivers. The painful sound of metal screeching got Vantana Zyrath's attention Thursday.
Just a big old loud crash.
A huge ship, the USNS First Lieutenant Harry L. Martin, had just hit the Matthews Bridge.
They said it looked like a knife cutting butter.
Sam Cook heard all about it from a dock worker who felt something very bad was about to happen.
They don't usually see them that big down that far. And yeah, he said they were kind of going, it's pretty close.
Moments later,
all of a sudden I saw a cop just swerve around the middle of the street and block off the bridge.
Vicki Stewart says police surrounded the bridge. She couldn't believe what they told her.
Wow. Did that big old boat not see that bridge?
And then came the traffic.
Bumper to bumper. I mean, didn't nobody know where to go.
For hours, Stewart watched frustrated commuters desperately try to make their way home.
They didn't have nowhere but one place to go, and they was all trying to, all the way from around the stadium, all the way from this, everybody was trying to get on that one little bridge.
It was a traffic nightmare. These witnesses' worry is far from over.
Very nervous. I don't know about going over the Matthews Bridge now.
I don't see how they could repair it unless they weld it or melt it down or something. I think it's going to be a long, drawn-out situation like it's been.
Now, just about a half hour ago, we did see some FDOT employees go onto that bridge. We're told that they're going to be assessing the situation this morning. Lindsay?
And Deanna, here within the last half hour, we've also seen a chopper from JSO flying 3 to 4 times overhead, getting a look from the air as to what the bridge looks like this morning, and as well as what the traffic all around the area, what it looks like, and what its impact is going to be. We expect to get more updates from JSO here later on throughout the morning. We'll, of course, continue to cover that for everyone at home. But for now, Mike, I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, thank you for doing that, Lindsay.